Hey guys, it's Jordan. Today I'm sharing a delicious winter root vegetable stew that you make in the slow cooker. This is the perfect stew for these wintry, chilly nights, and it's especially perfect to have ready to go when you come home from a busy weekday. It's definitely getting colder here in Ohio, and I'm certainly leaning on my slow cooker a lot more because I just love coming home to the smell when you walk into your kitchen and your slow cooker's been doing all the work all day long. There is nothing better, let me tell you. This slow cooker stew is full of vegetables that I've been getting from my farmer's market lately. So lots of root vegetables, things like rutabagas, potatoes, carrots, but feel free to swap in any of your favorite root vegetables or whatever you can find at your farmer's market if you enjoy shopping locally. This one pot recipe is brimming with so much savory flavor. It's full of hearty vegetables, lots of chunky ingredients, but it's light enough that you're not gonna feel weighed down. Let's go ahead and get started with this recipe.
We have about a pound of potatoes, 2 rutabagas, 2 medium-sized carrots, 2 celery sticks, and an onion. So we're just gonna get all of the vegetables prepped, and that's probably the hardest part of this recipe. And I'm using rutabagas because I really like to challenge myself to try new vegetables. It's not a common vegetable in a lot of recipes, but it's really delicious. And rutabagas are actually a cruciferous vegetable, and they're a cross between a turnip and a cabbage, so they're very, very healthy for you, but they taste like a mix between a potato and a sweet potato. They're slightly sweet. Here I'm just showing you how you prep it, and they're very easy to peel. You can also use a vegetable peeler if you have one. Mine just isn't quite strong enough, so I like to use my knife. They're packed with nutrition like potassium, calcium, magnesium, folate, and antioxidants like vitamin C and E, but plus they're lower in starch than potatoes, so less calories, less net carbohydrate, and again, like I said, they have a mellow flavor and they taste so good in savory dishes, and I think that they're really just as satisfying as potatoes. So we've got those chopped up now into 1/4 inch pieces. We're gonna go ahead and dice our onion. You're just gonna dice your onion like you normally dice your onion. Now I'm going to prep my celery, and besides the onion, all the vegetables like the rutabaga, the celery, the carrot, the potatoes, you want all those vegetables to be about the same size. So like I said, about a 1/4 inch thickness. That way they cook all about the same in the slow cooker, and your bite that you get is like nice and uniform, if that makes sense. So we're gonna go ahead and chop up our carrot just the same. I love adding carrot because it just adds a brightness, adds the beautiful orange color. There's so many colors and textures going on in this stew, and I think the carrot is really good. You could swap it out for parsnips or additional rutabaga or additional potatoes if you don't have them. So now we've got our potatoes. I just rinsed them in a colander in the sink, and I've got some pretty small potatoes, so I'm just cutting mine in half. If yours are a little bit bigger, you might want to quarter them or chop them in eighths, again, so everything's about the same size. And you're just going to add all of those vegetables right to the slow cooker. No other prep needed. Then you're going to add 1 cup of dried brown lentils. I like to rinse them just to make sure they're nice and clean, and then I add those straight to the slow cooker, and they're gonna cook up with all the other ingredients. Brown lentils hold up really well over a long period of cooking, so I recommend those versus like red lentils. And this is an optional add-in. I'm adding some sausage, so about 4 sausage links, and I cooked them up in a pan before adding them to the slow cooker. But really this stew is very like flexitarian. You could leave it vegetarian, not add the sausage. You could add bacon instead. You could add whatever you have on hand, but I liked the little extra bit of sausage. It's nice and smoky and salty, and I think it goes really well with lentils. So you'll see that I added that on top at the end. So you're just gonna salt and pepper everything, add some minced garlic, and 6 cups of chicken stock or chicken broth. I would recommend going for a low sodium option just so you can control the amount of salt, and that way it's not too salty. And then you're just gonna mix everything together. Then I added my cooked sausage that I had cut up in bite-sized pieces. And then last but not least, you're gonna throw in a bay leaf just for some extra flavor while it cooks. So that is everything in the slow cooker. You're gonna turn it on, and here you can either do 8 to 10 hours on low, or you can do 3 to 4 hours on high. So depending on what your schedule looks like that day, it's very versatile. Either way, it's gonna taste incredible. So when your meal is about ready, like a half an hour before the time is going to go off, or when you get home, or you can have this done and prepped ready to go, you're going to chop up some kale and add that to the slow cooker so that the kale can wilt into the stew. So I just chopped up some of this. This is lacinato kale. I really like the texture of it, and I just added it right to my slow cooker and left it in there for, I don't know, like 5 to 10 minutes. It could be longer if you want it to, or shorter, just depending on how you like the texture of your kale. I like mine chopped up really fine, and I like it nice and incorporated. I don't like a big piece of kale in a spoonful. And here's what it looked like once I lifted off the lid and everything was ready to go. Oh, look at all the colors. It's just so beautiful. This is what you want to see in a meal. You want to see all those different colors and textures. So some optional garnishes would be a squeeze of lemon juice. It's very Mediterranean, brightens up the flavors, and some parsley and maybe a little drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, just for a little, healthy fat. So satisfying. And then you got to get the perfect bite with a little bit of everything. This is a perfect meal to eat in front of a cozy fire.
I really hope you all enjoyed this slow cooker root vegetable stew recipe. Be sure to check the description box below for a link to the written recipe. Comment down below and subscribe to my channel if you're new here. I will see you soon for another one. Bye!